Whoa, Black Betty, ba-da-ba-dam, whoa, Black Betty, battering ram, ba-da-ba-dam, ba-da-ba-dam, battering ram. How you guys doing? Oh, yeah, what's going on, guys? Ah, my hand. Give me a second. Um, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I just want to make sure that it is still on that. Let me take it off that. I had the mono thing still on. Can I take this? Oh my god, I have the hiccups now. Can I take this off? No, it's still fucked up. So we'll keep it like that. Hey, hey. Hello, short sack. Hello, Vegas Struckus. Tinkerbell Hippie. Bump Demon. How you guys doing today? So I have the whole stream of Heather's from yesterday, the day before yesterday. We missed, I think, the beginning of it and parts in between because I paused it, and then when I press play, then it'll randomly skip to like the live, so we missed some parts. So I have to at least rewatch a majority of that, but I don't know if you guys were here for that or not. I put it in a Brook stream, so you guys might not have seen it. Because I caught it live there. And I also heard that she was like posting some weird stuff to Instagram, so I just want to get her Instagram up here before anything rolls over. I don't know how long Instagram goes for, if it's 24 or 12 hours. And I don't know what I count them on. So let me... Okay, now this is the right account. Where is she? Where are you? We're in Carl Pilkington. Was being trained to be kidnapped. While being trained in case he got kidnapped, and he was like, "Who are you?" Ah. HLG forever. Okay, well, there's no stories that I can click on. Isn't looking good. Alright, well, I'll just play the stream then, I guess, and while I poke around in the background, because she has 3 stupid Instagram accounts that usually are right at the top, but they're not right now, so that's annoying. And now I'm trying to figure out where I put... Oh, wait, hold up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all. Fuck me, man. Give me a minute. I put it in a weird folder. It's in a weird folder because it downloaded to somewhere stupid. I don't even remember what it's named. God fucking damn it. Is it... It's not this one. Is it that one? No, it wouldn't be that one. Just give me a second. Hold on. What if I do this? I can probably just re-download it, hopefully. Hopefully. Maybe. I'm just waiting for it to fucking download, sorry guys. Because I don't remember where my downloads fucking go anymore. Oh my god, I did that stupid thing. Okay, I think it's working now. Yeah. There we go. Fuck me. Oh, yeah. I need to go to bed, man. I can't even go to bed. I need to finish editing this stupid video.
Hi, you guys. How are you? I have not been on this account in so long, so I'm giving everyone an update. And this will probably be about an hour-long live. I'm going to do my makeup and try to speak as articulately as possible. I am currently working full-time 7 out of 7 days of the week. I have an apartment, a little studio, and I bought a car. I have 3 older children, Viviana, Lewis, and Alexis, who you guys all know. For anyone who doesn't know me, I started my public career and public profile working in the sales of sexy content, many vids, adult Twitter, Snapchat, things of that nature in 2015, 16. And I was doing that because of pressure I felt in a relationship where my significant other was low-key trying to get me to work as an escort. And eventually he would have gone on to succeed. All of what I've gone through has been in front of the public eye as well as law enforcement. And I don't think I know anyone who's called the FBI as many times as I have. So, and none of
That's not a flex. It's a weird flex. That's not a good thing.
were for erroneous reasons or, dumb reasons. They were all for very, very real, scary shit. To bring you guys all up to speed, to catch you guys all up, I was being extorted by a member of law enforcement named David Shepard to participate in gathering evidence against Dylan and his friends. Mostly his friends. Dylan was in prison at the time and working on his own deals with the state. Because I was not under arrest and had no criminal ties, I was not offered a deal. I was just under duress, forced to do what they asked me to do, including stealing a laptop from Jordan Lott.
Always the same source. So this is on my brand is not for sale. Account says Flamingo Rome Club. If anyone wants to throw a weekend party at this location, it's available for lease and rent, and we have a number of seasoned/experienced promoters for collaboration. And then she's here. She said, please Google the phone number for the police station in Robbins, Illinois. I've been calling the number provided by Google, but it rings to a disconnected number. So she thinks, I don't know, they're blocking her phone. So she wants her followers to call this police station for her. I don't know what they're supposed to say. Hey, Heather Gillespie wants to get a hold of you. Maybe we should call her back. And then I've been calling Robbins police in an effort to reach David Shepard, who doesn't work for the police anymore. David Shepard got fired, remember? Heather even tells us that he got fired. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. I am being refused assistance and would like someone to please go to the station in Robbins on my behalf and relay a message to the staff with my name and contact information. If you're a resident of this area or plan to travel to the south suburbs, please DM me or Xavier. Don't DM Xavier, he'll send you his PP. Thank you. That's what she says, thank you. So I think she's probably coming back.
I came downtown to Lake Street, right by the Thompson Center, and met with David Shepard and gave him the laptop. I was told he would steal my children with the assistance of DCFS if I did not comply, so I did. My kids stayed with me for 4 more years after that. As long as I was playing ball, we were safe. When Dylan came home in 2019, we always knew that I had absolutely no interest or desire to work in selling sexy content. And we planned to use the audience I had grown from the 5 years I spent consistently logging on, influencing, creating content in all areas, not just sexy content. So fitness, health, parenting, lifestyle, that we would transition into the fitness space together as a couple, Dylan and I, and that we would start our sup line, we would start our clothing line, we would do personal training, we would do free classes with group training. We had an entire plan. When Dylan...
Could you imagine going to I don't know what kind of fitness classes? It's not just fitness. It's working out, and Dylan and Heather are your trainers?
Came home, he was offered another deal to participate in a reality show called Love After Lockup. We reluctantly agreed. He wanted to do it. I
think that's bullshit too. I've heard from multiple sources that Heather was the one that set all that up. She was the one on the outside, so she was able to kind of do that. Dylan was in jail. Betty Davis, I thank you for the 10
or
memberships.
Appeared to me as if he wanted to do it. I didn't. I wanted nothing to do with it, and I was very, very reluctant and
yeah, she was on Love After Lockup.
Resistant. After my participation in that reality show, life got very scary.
You want to see what she looked like on Love After Lockup? She looked like Cyberpunk. The video game.
than it had ever before. And I was already living in a state of complete fear 99% of the time. My relationship with Dylan was taking place on a recorded line through the state of Illinois. He was in the IDOC, and I was literally being manhandled systemically between him and the police.
That's what she looked like. A love after lockup. Yikes. Yikes on bikes.
If I didn't do what Dylan said, I had to fear the police. And if I didn't do what the detective said, I had to fear DCFS. And I was just in between a rock and a hard place. No criminal record, no experience in dealing with crimes, no idea what to do. For the record, all of the lurkers and everything that they've ever done.
That's Dylan too. What crazy hair. Dylan is a weird looking guy too.
To me, I've forgiven them for. I got along with like 90% of them. Anyone who self-proclaimed a lurker or part of that group, I didn't have any drama with them. There were, I would say, maybe 10 out of 100 that I had issue with because either they robbed me or broke into my home or put some drugs in my beverages or cheated on me with slept with my significant other knowing we were together, or raped me. I've forgiven all of them.
What?
Like, legitimately.
Why would you? No, I wouldn't.
From a very, very, very genuine place in my heart, I've forgiven all of them. My kids are doing well, for the most part, despite all of the drama and adversity. Anyone who knows me knows my children have lived with me full-time their entire lives, from the moments of their birth all the way until 2020. Following my appearance in this reality show, I was unlawfully separated from my children, and I have been fighting for them back ever since. I have court ordered
Chicago deep dish Brooke. Yeah. And Brooke is Kentucky Fried Heather.
custody, primary joint custody. But I don't have a home that's big enough for all of us to be together. If you guys have been following, I was literally forced to live in a tent the whole time I was pregnant with Weston, who's now 18 months old.
She hates cheese pizza. She was like, the whole city is flooded because everybody's constipated from eating cheese pizza. So stop giving Xavier cheese pizza. She's telling the world this.
Denied shelter from the city of Chicago. I was denied shelter from, I say the city of Chicago, it's 311, which is like a hotline that you're supposed to be able to call if you're dealing with housing instability. And within 12 hours, they're supposed to come and pick you up and bring you to resource. They never did that for me, and I called 3 to 5 times a day my entire pregnancy and documented the entire journey thoroughly on the One Heather GEE account that was later taken offline by Instagram. I've received no justice in any of these cases. They just
the account was too scary. Too scary for Instagram.
keep on burying and burying and burying. At 3 days old, I was separated from Weston, and I've been seeing him 3 to 4 times a week, every week since that time. I was ordered by the court not to disclose the names of the judges and state's attorneys who are involved in this case, nor am I to disclose any of the judicial decisions regarding this case because my son is a minor.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's really all I can say. That case has been as corrupted as the rest of all of this. After Dylan and I did the show, I was bludgeoned by a man with a tire iron who said that Dylan and Marissa sent him.
That is a lot. Well, okay, so she did get hit. She was bludgeoned. A homeless man, beat her over the head with her own tire iron because she picked him up on the street and they lived in the car together for 2 days doing drugs probably. But he would never said that Marissa and Dylan sent him. Marissa and Dylan had nothing to do with this homeless guy. I don't know why she's weaving that into it. That's never been part of this story.
I was never contacted again by Dylan. Dylan and I were together for 5 years. I accepted every one of his calls from prison, 6 hours a day, paid for all of that, gave him a place to parole to. agreed to marry him, signed a prenuptial agreement that was $2,000 for his mother had to pay to draft it. Rebecca Sarnecki was the attorney on that case, on that prenup. When he came home, I was told that our house was wired for video and sound and that I was being thrown out rather than him, even though he was in violation of his parole. I don't know the details. I just know that I was thrown into the street and withheld housing.
What does she mean by wired with video and sound? Just like Dylan's going to be living fish tank by himself, kick you out on the street?
Raped, robbed. Like, I'm not any of those things. I've never been any of those things. I don't know what else I can do when I've called the FBI. I've documented. It's 10 years later, after 2015. David Shepard lost his job for corruption.
Right. Not because of Heather or anything, but David Shepard, who she's blaming a lot of this stuff on, he's not at the police station. So why are you sending people to the police station and asking them to call the station on your behalf to look for David Shepard, who clearly isn't there?
For extorting me with DCFS, saying if I didn't do everything he told me to do,
well, I don't think it's not her lawyer anymore, but she used to have a lawyer named Nick Albuquerque, and now she's looking for lawyers. Maybe Bruce Lee can be her lawyer. Bruce Lee, attorney at law.
Bus was going to steal my children from me.
Yo, isn't it wacky that Bruce Lee is representing Dylan and Brooke? Crazy.
Weston, I've completed all of what I'm supposed to do for DCFS, but the courts just keep on moving the court dates back farther and farther. The judge has told me twice.
Yeah, let me get I took a screenshot because I had to redact Dylan's address. But look. Bruce Lee. How does that work? How can he be representing both of them? Interesting. I mean, he's getting paid double.
That I'm not allowed to talk about the case.
He wins either way. He loses either way. What a crazy day in the life of Bruce Lee.
On the internet.
Attorney at law.
I explained that I was doing so for the purpose of raising advocacy, funding, support, awareness. She said then that I could speak about it on social media, but that I could specifically not include any of the action that's being discussed or names of the state's attorneys, judges, etc., and so forth.
You're gonna sue me? I'll sue myself.
I've done every single service that these people have asked me to do. I work 7 out of 7 days of the week as an Uber driver. Xavier, my husband, the person who I've been...
Oh, she got a call. She's on mute. See, in my mind, I'm like, maybe they're two different people, and it's just a crazy coincidence. They have the same middle initial and everything. And they're just lawyers named Bruce A. Lee. But probably not. Imagine they're twins. They lost some kind of bet, and they both had to name themselves the same name.
Is suffering tremendously from a mental health perspective. He's afraid to leave his stuff in one spot. He's scared that he's going to get thrown.
I'm Bruce Arnold. He's Bruce Arthur Lee.
Outdoors. He doesn't know what to do. He's commonly telling me that he doesn't know if he should use drugs again, that when he was a teenager, he got sent to rehab for drug use in Hawaii. That's
a new one too. I've never heard of that before this stream. Like, I think Xavier's just trying to, I don't know, do some social mirroring with Heather somehow. So Heather went away to Jamaica. She went away to Jamaica. Because she was bad or something. Like, it was a boot camp thing. It was like one of those, you know, the ranch. You know how Dr. Phil sent Bad Baby to the ranch? Heather got sent to Jamaica in the same kind of fashion. So I don't know if Xavier's just like, you can't throw me out on the street, Heather. Because the stream before this that she did, she was like, I'm trying to get Xavier to leave. And we get to the point where, like, all he has to do is actually fucking leave and he can't. So I thought she was trying to kick Xavier out. And Xavier's like, no, you don't understand. They sent me away to Hawaii.
And that he has been feeling these feelings again. I don't use drugs, and neither does Xavier.
No, Xavier definitely uses drugs. And you do drugs? What you talking about? You guys do Duster. And you're like an advocate for smoking weed while you're pregnant. And Xavier does fentanyl. Like, we all know Xavier does fentanyl. I mean, Xavier said it. You said it. The community said it.
Being trapped in a
like the community around them, like the IRL community.
For 2 years, a little under 2 years, and then watching your son be separated from you is probably one of the most tragic things you could live through. It's just been absolutely terrifying. Following all of that, we expected that now that DCFS was involved, we were supposed to be receiving the assistance with the matter. We were supposed to be in front of a judge. I saw Judge Leviander Smith on this case who said Weston would be returned within 48 hours, and that was in February of 2024. Then they switched judges, and the new judge doesn't even let me see him outside of a DCFS office. All of the things that they've done to me, rape, bludgeoning, stabbing, every time I bring them up in court for Weston, they say we're not here to discuss that and called me a paranoid person.
Well, because that has nothing to do with Weston.
This is not, this live stream is not for entertainment. This is not for a movie script or ideas for Netflix. This is my real life as it is unfolding.
Bombastic Side-Eye, were you here when we caught this live, when we were supposed to be doing Brooke? And now I have to rewatch a lot of this. But do you remember this?
I've held back in sharing live videos because the more I go live and the more I've updated people, number one, I get support.
Yes, and you can apparently get high off of it. Cobes used to do Duster with now. Silly. Towley does Duster. There's some person on intervention that does Duster.
I get money, but number two, they have not then more inside information.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say this is probably gonna be boring if
to how to harm me, and that was my mistake with Dylan. I told him all of the reasons I had PTSD, and in order to get me to react in a PTSD reaction, he did all of those things that he knew caused me to have PTSD. This new group has been doing more of the same of that. I don't consent. I did write a pilot for a show called The Coco Show where I'm the main character and Xavier is my counterpart. And it's a satirical kind of comedy making fun of all of the things that we've been through, because the things that we've been through are not funny.
Like all the things that she cites that you would never write a sitcom about. I don't know why she came up with this idea. Is it just she has like the SoundCloud podcast? Is it just that? Because you called that The Coco Show as well. Is this just the old show?
They're not funny at all. They're corrupt in the best description. They're corrupt. In the reality of it, if you're looking at it from my perspective as a mom, as a daughter, as a wife, it is terrifying, unlawful, unconstitutional actions with absolutely no accountability. Responsibility has been misplaced on the victim in the majority of these cases, and there have been no reasonable solutions presented. It is, and I want to go on the record as saying, it is unacceptable that a judge or anyone would hear a woman say, hey, representative of the state of Illinois, you think I'm paranoid because I said XYZ.
Which is, they beat me, stabbed me, you can fill in the blanks. And they say, yo, that has nothing to do with Weston, your kid. I don't know why you're bringing that up, but this is about you doing drugs and drugs being found in his system and you living in a tent and not having any fucking plan to take care of this kid. And you still don't really have a plan on what you're doing. I guess she drives Uber now. But that took her a very, 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 very long time to start driving Uber. Like, there was months and months and months after her kid was born that she was just lounging around doing this basically, but not in a car. She didn't have a car. She was just in the hotel paid for by the government. You know, being like, what's your impact?
Here's a doctor, a detective, and a state's attorney who were all involved in XYZ, witnesses to XYZ unfolding. They can all tell you that XYZ took place and that it's not me being paranoid. The state, the detectives, the witnesses, they all verify that what I'm saying is not paranoid jargon, but in fact an actual realistic recollection of the things that I've had to survive. And still to this day, there have been no changes made to anything that's gone on. No attention, no assistance, no justice, not a lawyer, not anything. I represent myself in this case, and I have a standby attorney who helps me with filing objections and motions.
That must be painful for them to watch. So I guess that's the court-appointed attorney that Heather's like, no, I don't want you to speak for me. You're just gonna file stuff for me. And he just watches her get wrecked every time she goes to court.
I'm actively seeking assistance from any and all other forms and avenues of law. I love my children more than I love myself.
And they were all Heather.
I would never in a million years harm my babies. I would never in a million years guarantee to any other lifestyle than being a mother. So if a rich person came up to me,
I mean, I said this on the last time, but she chose Dylan over her kids. A man in prison. That doesn't seem like she just wanted to always be a mom and looking out for her kids and yada, yada, yada. And then she gets knocked up not once, but twice by Xavier, the homeless wonder here. And then, like I said before, didn't have a plan to take care of this kid. So, yeah, no, I would never want to hurt a kid. I just put, like, drugs in my body while I'm pregnant, and then I expect to raise it in a tent in February in Chicago, heated by a hairdryer.
Guy and said, I want to take you away from this life. I'm going to get you a mansion, and you know, you just have to leave everyone that you
Oh, this sounds familiar.
know and you can't bring your kids with. I would say no, and I would stay here in this hell because I don't have it.
Yeah, she had already lost custody of her 3 kids before she had number 4.
Ingrained in my DNA to abandon my children. I feel as though abandonment of a child or of an offspring is an animal-like behavior that most animals in 2025 have evolved out of. If you have a puppy and that puppy has children, a baby.
I don't know. The puppy having children, having a baby puppy. Puppies having puppies.
Puppies, and the puppies get given away. You can see, you can feel, you can hear distress in the mother puppy, in the mother dog. That's the evolution of society, and that's in an animal. If a dog would not be okay abandoning her puppies, I most certainly am not going to be okay abandoning my children. And the fact that I have to break it down to that for the audience, I'm not mad at you for spending $300.
I mean, there's a lot of shit parents out there that don't give a fuck about their kids. So you're going to have to, I don't know, convince me a little more than just being like, you know, dogs are sad when their puppies are taken away. Therefore, I am sad. Like, you gotta, like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Heather.
For shoes for your dog. I'm mad at you for knowing what's going on in the world apart from your dog.
And you might be asking yourself, well, why would Heather even won't be fighting for this kid then? Or Steve, you're an asshole for thinking this. Heather thinks that this kid is her ticket to like a free apartment because 311 told her like it's either the women's shelter and Xavier can go into the men's shelter and can't be together, or if you had a kid or if you had children like with you out on the streets, we would have an immediate like apartment building to put you in. So Heather's brilliant fucking idea was have a kid in a tent and then get that apartment. And then she was also demanding a 5-bedroom apartment so her other kids could come visit. Pipe dreams. It's never happening. But she thinks if she's stubborn enough. Anyways, that's why she wants the kid. It's not because like she loves her kid or anything. And that's why I don't believe her. And that's why she's going to have to convince me a bit more than just saying dogs have puppies and they're sad when they get separated.
With my children, with her children, with his children, and feeling as though it's an appropriate expense to pay $300 for shoes for your dog and speak nothing, say nothing, fundraise.
Yeah, there's lots of We're gonna do more throwback, Heather. This is from yesterday. This stream, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. Can't remember. My times are bad. But we're gonna be doing more throwback, so you'll see what I'm talking about. I think if you watch the last throwback, I was even predicting stuff before it happened. Like my brain was awakening to Heather Gillespie again. So I'm not exaggerating or like you know, putting out misinformation. It'll just I just don't know where those clips specifically are if we're saying stuff like that.
Nothing, advocate nothing for these real world situations that are unfolding. I think everyone should have $300 shoes, dogs or people or whomever. I'd love to have a pair of $3,000 shoes. You know, I'm not sitting here saying expensive stuff is bad or that the rich people are bad. I'm saying there are enough rich people in the world who can use their money and resources and power to make policy like dogs are allowed inside of Whole Foods or dogs are allowed inside of the mall. You could
What's it with the dogs? Why is she so set on dogs?
your dog to the hospital if you have an emotional support paper, but you can't pass some fucking legislation that prevents people from stealing my baby. You can't pass some legislation that forces people to take action on the people who have violently victimized me.
No, so the kids are protected. It's to protect them from you.
You can't come up with some legislation that allows me to be in a situation where I'm not being emotionally abused each and every single morning. I think you can. I think you can do a lot better. You've, for some reason, surrounded me with people who are either too dumb, selfish, ghetto, unwilling, or clueless to take any sort of action with regards to this situation. People who know what's going on, who have known what's been going on for years, who have made a conscious decision to say nothing, to do nothing, and to close their eyes when they firsthand witness everything going on.
We might have to watch the body cam next for the next throwback, because I just remember her having this debate with the cop. There was like a lot of cops, actually. I want to say like 7 cops. I think there were 7 body cams. So yeah, like 7 cops. Getting Heather and Xavier to stop standing under an awning or whatever when it was raining because it was on private property that they weren't supposed to be on. And then Heather, you know, was like, yeah, but all this stuff is happening and you guys don't care, like X, Y, and Z. Like, I've been beaten, blah, 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 blah. And they are trying to like help her. It's like, have you filed a report? Like, I can help you file a report. We just got to get out from under this awning. It ended in her getting arrested and she went to jail and like she started crying in jail and then telling them that Xavier doesn't have any family when he does, and it's just a big mess. But I think that would be a good one to watch next time, like maybe tomorrow if there's nothing else going on.
A lot of those people work at the DCFS office now. It's really sick. It's really sad. My life consists of, ever since getting out of the tent, you know, almost begging, rationalizing, from a space of complete and total desperation for some sort of assistance in protecting my family and I. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I feel like I'm their hostage. They asked me to do a number of services. Those services have been completed for a long time, and Weston had a go-home date of over a year ago, but he's still not home. I have called hundreds of family law groups. They all say we don't deal with DCFS cases. I have called numerous lawyers with regards to recovery for injury or accident. Each and every single time, I can't even get through to a lawyer. I can't even get past the receptionist. She says that these are not cases that her lawyers would be willing to accept.
You need one for family law. Why are we calling injury lawyers? Wait, what? Accident? Who had an accident? Who had an injury? Is she... What is she talking about? Is she talking about another case?
I finally got a consultation scheduled for this week. This week. I have my first consultation.
I think Nick Lachey, that's the guy who was married to Jessica Simpson, right? He's on, the fuck is he on? I think Love is Blind or something. He's on he's on a few Netflix love reality shows where he's the host. He's like, I'm Nick Lachey. I hope this is the guy I'm thinking of. And I'm going to tell you the rules to the game show. I don't know. He doesn't really contribute much. I think he just pops in to see how they're doing and he leaves. And then he talks with his wife, co-host. I don't know what they are, about how the show is so wild and crazy to keep you interested and engaged in the show.
For all of this, after calling, and when I tell you I've made probably close to 1,000 calls to various lawyers in the last 5 years over all of this, that would be a low estimate. It's probably been a lot higher than that. In addition, I've also created numerous online campaigns. I've explained over and over again.
Oh, Betty Davis says, you were talking about Nick Lachey?
That I do not consent, nor do I willingly choose to be a part of being manhandled systemically or having my children be harmed or be someone's victim so that I could, use my voice to model the way that they're harming me. The only model that I give myself permission to be is the one that does photo shoots and wears beautiful clothing. I'm not your demonstration dummy. They're doing a whole bunch of other really crooked shit, specifically with regards to taking people's ideas and real life circumstances and demonizing them. Do you guys know who Charlie Kirk is? Anyone familiar with Charlie Kirk? So Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, father of a 4 and a 1-year-old, was shot assassination style by a sniper at one of his talks at the University of Utah a few days ago. Charlie Kirk has the perspective that there are so many advocacy groups for the trans, gay, and queer community. Why are there no activist groups for people who believe in God and marriage and family and country? He was killed. I keep on finding in my...
I might have to... I didn't do something crazy. Kind of. I went crazy one day, and I was like, that's it. I'm going to private everything from before 2024. So I think a lot of the... I'm just checking right now. I think a lot of the Heather Tent streams are actually... Oh, no, there's some of these that are public. When was this from? Because they're from 2024. Okay. Yeah, I might have to go through these and unprivate them, publicize them. The Heather delivers the baby. The baby. I think the important stuff is here, actually. I don't know. Maybe I just privated ones that were, like, not that important to try to clean stuff up. I don't know.
Own life, these parallels to hatred, to the inability to accept people, places, and things for who and what they present themselves to be, and then mitigating evidence that shows that that was the right decision to begin with. I'm living in a world in 2025 that is scary. And then, like a light switch, everything goes back to normal and there are no issues anymore, and Weston is fine and he's on his way.
Why is the stream with TD is private? We gotta make that public again.
Home, and the big kids are doing great, and there's no reason for Heather to be upset. She has paranoid personality disorder with traces of narcissism. Yep,
that's what she's diagnosed with, guys. She disagrees, though. Like, she super disagrees. She's like, fuck that shit.
So I have been diagnosed formally with PTSD and ADHD since I was 17 years old. Coming home from Jamaica, they said I was fucked up. I'm 38 now. Paranoid personality disorder? What the fuck is that?
That's what you are. I don't know. Just like, I'm sure someone could break it down for her. Like, this is a normal person. You see how they live their life and things are fine. And then this is you who thinks everyone's out to get you all the time, even though like nothing really happens. She makes her own problems for herself. So I don't know. She should have taken the apartment from Cassie. Remember Cassie, guys? Cassie. But we called her Cassie because she was like, I'll buy you an apartment for a year, Heather. And Heather was like, no. And I was like, see, she's just grifting. She's just being fucking insane.
Then I start doing research about it and it's rejected by the DSM. So it's not even a real accepted diagnosis. And the woman on the stand under oath gave her word that she would tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help her God, and proceeded to say that not even medication intervention will assist me with this diagnosis. So she gave me a death sentence.
It's not a death sentence. I don't know why she says that. So this stream, it's this one. This stream. Heather Gillespie throwback extreme stream, which is in between the two. What are these guys? Back in time, Back to the Future streams of Brooke. Yeah, there's tents. There's tents in here if you want to see some tent action.
Sentence. She said she can't say whether or not I can be a good parent with this diagnosis. She doesn't know. But that she doesn't think medicine will help me in any way.
What's going on, Aaron? Aaron, I didn't know that other account was you earlier, and I was like, whoa. I was going to be like, you wouldn't believe it. Somebody was impersonating you, but it was just you.
So, it's been 10 years. I live in Chicago. I've been loyal to Chicago since I got here 20 years ago. Stimulating the economy whenever possible, bringing my kids down for staycations rather than flying somewhere else to give them my money, right? Paying high fucking taxes, getting 5-star hotel rooms, eating at fancy restaurants. Anytime I've had a little extra or known someone with a little extra, having them spend locally.
She was living in some apartment when she was writing on the walls, but I can't remember like the name of the apartment or anything. That was before the tent days. That was when she was still stable enough to have like sugar daddies pay for places for her. I think that was around the time that she thought that the bowl cut gang was out to get her. That's a pretty good saga as well.
Sharing the love and the wealth wherever and whenever I could. And this is where you left me. 2 years in a tent, proceeding on the heels of 2 years of house.
I don't know. Remember, I think it's the one where she was taping up the vents, right? And taking the shots and stuff too. Or maybe that was another apartment. She had a few, right? I don't think it's the one with the vacuum bandit. Maybe it was the one with the vacuum bandit. I don't know how many apartments she's had.
Instability where I had to come out of my...
I thought Montclair was the most recent one, like that yellow room one. But maybe I'm wrong. Wasn't that the one that she was at after Weston was born? With Xavier?
Pocket for almost 42 grand plus every dollar I was given by the reality show just to keep a roof over my head in Airbnb.
Oh, okay. I thought the hotel was called the Montclair.
One room in an Airbnb.
Yes, I remember the water jets.
My Cadillac CTS was stolen and sold at auto auction without my permission. I've called a lawyer named Dylan Hansen out of Valdosta, Georgia, I don't know, 10 times. He says he's working on the case, that he can definitely recover me the funds, that he can file a civil lawsuit. Never calls me back. I call again. He says the same thing. Then it's, oh, we got a hurricane. Georgia gets hurricanes? How the fuck does a non-coastal state get a hurricane? But okay, let me not be unreasonable or narcissistic, right? I don't know who's in charge here. I don't know what you expect me to do, what you would do if you were in my shoes.
Probably try getting at least one of my kids back before having a fourth one. That's just what I would personally do in your shoes, but I don't know. People say I'm crazy too.
Probably pretty similar to what I want to do and am doing in my own shoes. Unless you are physically preventing me from doing so, I will continue to seek justice. I'm working like a slave 7 out of 7 days a week, and literally all of my money is going to living. I'm not taking any vacations. I have no days off. I don't have a gym membership. I don't get to exercise. Sometimes I don't even have money for hygiene products. And I tell Xavier to go into the area hotels and ask them for shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, this is life. Oh my god. Heather got used to the easy life where she just laid in bed and said a bunch of nonsense and talked about like AI or whatever. solving all the world's problems, and people would donate money. The sponsors would, because they felt bad, or maybe they thought she was pretty or something. I don't know. Everyone's got a different reason to donate to Heather. But now she's just driving Uber and living like a normal person, and she fucking hates it.
When I get paid, I pay $1,035 a month for rent,
which is fucking cheap.
And the exact same 1,100 and I believe 35.
Imagine if Xavier actually contributed as well and he was paying half. That's $500 a month for rent. That is so fucking insanely reasonable. Like, you shouldn't be bitching at all. You should not be bitching at all.
For my car payment and car insurance, since I need passenger insurance every month. Whenever I can send some money to my children, I do. It hasn't been frequent enough.
I would kill for $1,000 a month. Maybe not kill. I would do some crazy shit if it was like, see if you could have $1,000 a month for rent in perpetuity. I would start questioning what I wouldn't do.
My mom was let go from her job 3 weeks after she got it because of all of this.
TD, did you know that the video that we did together, I didn't say Siri, I said TD. Get out of here, Siri. It was private for some reason, so I made it public again.
Numerous jobs have refused to work with me because of the stalking. When I last worked as a bartender at my actual bar, people came in and recorded me and posted them to YouTube. They're up publicly.
Yeah, I remember she was like, come visit me and spin. It was a great time. We can play ping pong. Oh.
Other people came in with photos of my face printed onto stickers with QR codes that have direct links to the slander websites on Reddit.
The slander? People be tripping? I don't even think the Reddits are that popping anymore, are they? Is Reddit pop? I kind of boycotted Reddit. Whoops. So I don't know.
Talking shit about me. I've been stalked in person. I've been stalked online. I've gone to the FBI, local law enforcement, support groups, social services, the hospitals, you name it. And not a single person has even so much as proposed any sort of solution. They just like talk through me or over me or around me. They don't even include me in productive conversation about what is going on, has gone on, or how to fix it. As recently as today, I called a bunch of detectives again, trying to get more information as to why no one is working on this, any of this, and they just get mad and hostile and hang up on me and say that I should call back when I have more information. Me, the victim, that I should call them back with more information. You should just be able to enter my name into a database, and every single thing that has been done to me in the last 10 years, all of the corruption, all of the physical abuse, everything should be right there at your fingertips. If you are a cop in this state, in this city, you should be able to pull up my name and find every single allegation I've made of corruption, of rape, of robbery. It should all be there. I should not have to go gather dates and times that I've been victimized to give to someone else who gets a paycheck to solve crimes like this.
I mean, there's a lot of crime, especially in Chicago. I heard that there's a lot of crime in Chicago, so they're like, they got to prioritize looking into things, and then I would assume that once they've gone on enough wild goose chases and realized that you're kind of just, if you're not making stuff up deliberately, there's something seriously mentally wrong with you, and they don't want to waste police resources anymore. So they're probably just going to be like, hey, if it's an actual crime, we got to look into everything, right? But if you're just calling to ask me to look into something we already looked into, and it was just for your fucking social media show to get donations, like, I'm not playing. Like, get the fuck out of here. I can see the conversations going like that.
At worst, you should speak to me nicely and say I don't have enough information, or for some reason your information is not populating, or anything. But they don't. So I stop calling for a few weeks at a time, and I let it breathe, and then I start again. And I'm tired and I'm annoyed and I'm irritated, and this is not the life that I signed up for. I miss my children more than I've ever missed another living soul in this entire life. I only, speak to them on FaceTime and go over there to drop them off food. My life has changed so dramatically. It's not even funny, and not for the better. And they reward the people who have victimized me. I mean, they gave the woman that Dylan cheated on me with a job making $700 a shift doing bottle service in the West Loop.
They did.
They follow me around and stalk me and stole my baby and make me go to DCFS for 2-hour visits 3 times a week. That's the fucking highlight of my social life.
You would have to be kind of narcissistic to just assume that there's these entities or people, who are, everything that they do is just to affect Heather somehow. Like, they gave her ex a really good job, and it's just to mess with Heather. Like, I don't know, man. She's pretty delusional.
Like, it's not making sense to me. They're stealing funding from me and the people who advocate for me so that they can set up traps in the West Loop.
She wants a restitution. She has a number. I forget what it was. It was like 12 million and something. She had it down to some weird dollar. It was like 12,600,704 or something. She thinks she's owed in restitution.
Why? I don't know what it's gonna take. I really don't. I've not consented to be a part of any sort of weird social experimentation. I just want my children and my independence. I want to be in a space where I can stand up on my own feet and have a couple $1,000s or more in the bank for an.
I don't think she's currently homeless. She used to be homeless. She used to live in the tent. She says her rent's $1,000 now, and she was posting stuff before. I want to say like a month ago, with the couch and the cushions. There was a missing cushion or something. They couldn't open up a couch, so I think they're housed now.
Emergency, and where I don't have to worry about being robbed. Edgar from PNC Franklin Park. Colin from PNC Mortgage Lakeview. Maria from PNC Lakeview. Jonathan from PNC Franklin Park, and many others. Oscar from Wintrust Elmhurst. Where the fuck are you guys? You guys are watching while fraud comes in and out of my bank accounts. And
well, Xavier's kind of leeching off of Heather. Like, if Xavier wasn't with Heather, I think Xavier would just be like at a men's shelter, except probably not, because he does drugs. So he'd probably be on the street, because I don't think his parents want him to come home unless he's off drugs. So that's where he was when Heather found him, was on the street doing drugs. He doesn't do anything. Xavier does not do anything. Literally, he just sits around.
I haven't been able to reach any of you by phone, despite my numerous voicemails, in weeks. And when I do finally reach you, everyone says the same thing. They're more than happy to help attempt to file another dispute. But
that's her boyfriend, Xavier. That's her prize.
It stops at them. Maria, Edgar, Jonathan, Oscar, Colin. All they can do is say that they're trying to work on the situation, and then say that they'll do it again and again and again. There has to be some sort of answer, some responsiveness, other than "we robbed you, fuck you." My money is protected by the FDIC, right? Or am I missing something? Did we go in 2025 to a space of time where human beings don't have constitutional rights or human rights anymore, and anyone can go into someone's bank account and steal from them, underdraft them $900? I told the bank, you don't allow me to underdraft 1 penny. If I go to buy a pack of gum and the gum costs $2.34, but I only have $2.30, you will decline that transaction. But I go to sleep at night and wake up to negative $922 out of my account.
Hey, Olivia.
And no one can explain it.
I'm sure someone could explain it. I think something got taken out. Automatic payment to some shit.
No one knows. And I'm supposed to just keep accepting that. What? Just keep opening new bank accounts? My kids have only got to sit in the same room as their brother Weston one time. One time. He's 18 months old. Vacations, luxurious ways of life. I could tell you in the last 5 years, I tried to go see a movie maybe about 6 months ago. That's the last attempt at having a social life that I tried. And I was so anxious the entire fucking time that someone was targeting me and trying to steal my car, which at the time was a leased vehicle, that I could not even free my mind to sit there and watch a movie. I ran out of the movie theater halfway through and went and stood next to my car. And these are not paranoid behaviors.
That is a paranoid behavior. So that's a part that got skipped over when we were watching it live. I wonder what movie she was watching. And the whole movie was just like, someone's out there stealing my car. Heather Gillespie's car. Why?
The result of being abused over and over again by all of these parties.
She's really got to let go of her ego. She can have self-esteem. You just got to let go of this fucking ego. Like, you're not that important. And as soon as you say that, life will be a lot easier. Imagine being this paranoid all the time because you think like you're that important that everyone's out to get you. What? Like, what?
They stole my Cadillac CTS. They put me on a payment plan with someone named Charles Bonini, as well as the city of Chicago, and took $800 to cover a boot, all in 3 weeks. Those tickets were paid. Someone paid those tickets for me, and my grandma, the Mama Nelly, gave me $800 to remove the boot. In 2020, in 2021, another set of people paid all of that off. And it seems like now that all of that's gone and done and paid off, they're starting it again. Today they gave me a ticket for $250, claiming that I was parked on the bike path. I parked in the exact same spot I've parked for the last 7 months in front of my house. And I paid to park on the City of Chicago Pay to Park app. $250 ticket. So what it feels like to me, what it seems like to me, what it really is
you don't know how to park because you got a whole bunch of other parking tickets before and people were nice enough to pay them off and now you're just parking all willy-nilly again.
To me, from where I sit, is a bunch of people with intention, malice, and premeditation reenacting a number, if not all of the ways that I've been violently or non-violently victimized in the last 10 years. And I don't consent. So that's the update. Just have not spoken.
Well, Gasper Pop is pretty good.
To Dylan once, not a single time since 2020. Not once. Don't know where he is, don't know what he's doing, have no relationship with him at all whatsoever, have not since that time. And Dylan and I didn't break up or like have any sort of adversity. He came out of prison and turned into a literal fucking psychopath. I call him an evil robot doing nitrous oxide and other drugs and beating the fuck out of me is not in Dylan's character.
I mean, if you've seen Love After Lockup, I don't think that Dylan was the psychopath. I don't think either of them are good people. But it would be really crazy if Dylan, right out of prison, while he's still on probation, just turned into a nitrous oxide robot that was beating people up all the time while on camera. What? Like, I don't know. I think he waited until Love After Lockup was done filming, and then drug addiction probably progressed, and now he's a pretty fucking crazy guy. He keeps getting arrested for violating restraining orders against Marissa and shit. Are they back together? They're always on and off. So I'm wondering if they're on or off right now.
We spent a long time together. That's not how he was with me. If he was like that way with someone else, he wasn't that way with me. And it's fucked up.
Yeah, this one, like Xavier, he doesn't get a say in anything. There was one time he was kind of like argumentative with her in the blue tent. You'll never see him talk back again.
Because they're doing similar things. Very, very like parallel like type shit behaviors with Xavier and him. And it's inconsistent at best, as I said. I have video of Xavier from the last 5 years. He treats me like a fucking princess.
This is Xavier, by the way. Like, she's just talking about him like he's not even there.
He's in shape. He, baby, sit down. Let me handle this. Let me help you with this. Let me do this. Let me do that. It's just so fucked in every way that you look at it.
A good analogy here would be like, imagine if Brooke just had Randy in the back seat all the time while she was talking shit about him, and that's literally like what Heather does with Xavier, and says pretty much the same stuff actually. Like, she's accused Xavier of raping her. She's accused of Xavier of actually inducing the miscarriage, or like, I don't know, the black market abortion, however you want to look at it, depending on their search history. She's accused Xavier of some insane stuff that if I were Xavier, I wouldn't put up with that shit. I don't know. Xavier, like I said, he does fentanyl, so I think he's like zoned out a lot of the time and playing his instruments and shit.
Just completely fucked. So I just spent another day attempting to contact law enforcement, FBI, and attorneys with regards to this case. The exact same calls I've been making since I was emailing nonstop with James Cleese about all of this. All of the emails started bouncing back about a year ago saying he was retired and that his email box was no longer in use. When I called to see who would be taking over, they said there's no one taking over, and what's my report number?
Yeah, see? Aaron remembers. He piped up and said we didn't have sex for 8 hours. That was the most argumentative you'll ever see him.
So, for the record, I have reports in Lake County when I was staying at the gated community in Barrington. Someone broke in and fucked up my car, the Cadillac. I have a police report from that day. And I have police reports from many, many other days all along the road. There has been no one who directly contacts me and says we're going to connect all of this together and investigate it as a whole. No one has done anything.
He tried one time. It was really funny, actually. I don't even know what the fuck that was about. What, did he have his own account? Or was he on Heather's account? I can't remember. But he came on TikTok live. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think I can probably find it. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, crazy. I found that really fast. Crazy train got. You got to copy this. It's only 5 minutes. You guys need to see this. This is like,
hey, how's it going?
This is Xavier's live. I forgot this existed. All right, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, this is Xavier's only stream that he ever did, and it's something. I don't think you're supposed to hear anything on a live stream. What do you mean? Is he saying he's deaf? Is he saying he's trying to hear the chat with his ears?
In the end, I can't smoke cigarettes on here. I can't smoke cigarettes on here, and I can't hear anything. I don't know if you guys are hearing me. Let me know if you can hear
He's so fucking out of it, bro.
You can hear me over there. Oh, we can hear you. Okay, they can hear me.
So I don't know where Heather was at this point, but at some point Heather starts calling him and he gets like really scared. He's like, oh shit, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go, she's calling. I gotta go. So I wish we got more Xavier streams.
Hi guys. I was told to go on here and answer a couple questions.
What? Oh yeah, I don't know. I forgot, or I don't remember. Heather telling Xavier go on TikTok live and answer some questions.
But I was feeling insecure about where she was at, but I feel like she was telling me the truth.
Xavier also had some secret mission that he wanted a couple of girls to partake in. So Heather supposedly was gonna go sleep with some rich guy, and he was reaching out to like the Heather Gillespie people and being like, please, you need to reach out to this guy for me and tell him that Heather is married and has a beautiful child with me and that he can't break this family up. And he was like trying to sabotage I don't know what you call it, the trick, the fuck, I don't know, but it was wild. That was the last time I heard of Xavier.
Yes. But I still gave her a hard time about it. So Michelle,
Slick Pink, thank you for the 10 memberships.
no, we are not. We are out of that place. I left that place, and she left with me. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, okay, so this was when they were in the shelter, or I guess like after they were in the shelter. They were in the shelter for a bit.
The guys still together. She says that we are, but we haven't been like romantic in a long time. Where are you staying now?
No, I'm pretty sure it was him, like Xavier saying like, "Oh, you have to, you have to tell this guy that we have a beautiful child together."
All over.
Yoga toes.
Protect yourself and be safe. Thank
You guys remember yoga toes?
you so much. Thank you guys so much, man. Oh, thank you. Whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, cups of coffee. Yeah, I try to stay awake at night to make sure she doesn't leave
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
the site. I always fall asleep. I always end up falling asleep. I hope you're okay. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. An awkward intersection. I might turn the cart over so I can hear her directing you. It looks beautiful so long. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You guys are so good. Beautiful. Yeah. I hear what you guys are saying, man. I hear what you guys are saying.
It's interesting that he's, I don't know, describes reading as hearing.
I can't smoke cigarettes on here. This is just a test run. What do you do? Thank you. It's good to hear from you guys too. Adorable. Thank you guys. Oh shit. Shit. She's calling. This was just a test run, guys. She's calling. I gotta go. I love you guys, man. I'll make a new TikTok.
You see what I mean? He sees the distress. He's like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh no. I gotta go.
How do you do this? God damn it.
No, she'll get pissed though. That's what I should show you guys too. I'm just thinking of all the great times. So there is a few times actually. My God. Heather would be alone in the tent Heather would be like, Xavier went to go get, I don't know, yogurt and something like 4 hours ago and he's still not back yet. I've called him 72 times, and she'd show the phone. I'd be like, oh my God. Like, imagine being Xavier. She'd be so fucking pissed if he doesn't answer like right away. So that's why he's very paranoid, I guess. But geez Louise, yeah, that's a good one too. She was like talking to the hairdryer one time.
Okay, she's calling a million times. Okay, I don't know how to do this, guys, but how the fuck do you do this? Well, that was the video I was telling you guys about. Thank you guys. I'm okay. How do you guys turn this off?
Just closed the app.
Yeah.
And that was the only time we ever saw Xavier live. Never again.
So I'm about to start work. Everything is the exact same. All I do is work and be with my kids as much as possible. I don't consent to any of the things that they've done to me, any of the ways they've used me unlawfully, unethically, immorally. I don't consent to any of that. I didn't consent at the time. I don't consent now. My identity being stolen, any bank accounts, and
who would want Heather Gillespie's identity? That's a fucking... that identity's wrecked.
Name, any bank account, any accounts at all, period. The only accounts that I have, me, Heather Gillespie, are the ones that you'll see on my phone if you're here. So
how am I supposed to see that? Would he be like in person with you? That's never gonna happen.
for anyone suspecting me of doing anything immoral or nefarious, not yet.
What do you mean yet?
But I can tell you that I'm most certainly feeling incredibly resentful, and that I'm absolutely struggling right now to trust and to feel like these people who claim to be in my corner are actually in my corner. What it feels like is that they're using me, my son, my children, my situation, and exploiting us for money and leverage. That's what it seems like for me, and I've maintained that the entire time. So if you're a
Whoa, I didn't know Xavier had like a huge nose ring now. Do you see that?
sponsor and a support,
Look at that thing. That's huge. That's not like your regular nose ring. That's like, that'd be big for even an earring.
I have a new Instagram page, not because I rebranded myself, but because they closed my page. Instagram closed the One Heather GEE page that was literally daily updates of me from the tent begging for help and sharing in almost like a criminal way.
But what do you mean in that criminal way?
Not criminal way, a criminal like reporting way.
Good save, I guess.
Giving daily updates. Okay, this is what happened this day. This is what happened today. This is what happened today. So-and-so did this. I called this person. I called that person. A literal play-by-play of everything that I was doing. And I would be really grateful if we could subpoena that account. But I started another account after that. It's Good Trouble Chicago. And I have another account besides this HLG Forever _ account. I try to hide this account whenever possible. I feel like this is the only real like connection I have to people who were following from the One Heather GEE or the Coco Chanel YSL days.
Yeah, Heather's an annoying person to follow. You have to make a burner account. You have to, first off, you got to block Heather on your main account. Then you got to make a burner account, and then you got to follow her on all these silly accounts because some of them are private, some of them she makes private, yada yada. And then she can't block your main. Like if she ever finds, this is what I like about Heather too, actually. Heather doesn't know anything about me. She doesn't know I exist. There's no like, I'm gonna sue you, Steve, blah 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 blah. None of that. It's beautiful. It's a walk in the park. What was my point to that? Lost my train of thought halfway through. Fuck.
I haven't sold content or worked in the sexy environment since 2019. It's 2025. Please stop calling me those names. And then...
Oh, the accounts. Okay, so then, like, she won't be able to block you, right? If she finds out who you are. But you'll still be able to follow her on the burner account. But it's just a pain in the ass. Like, you shouldn't even have to do that.
I guess that after 5 years of trying to get a consultation and finally getting one, I can say I feel a little hopeful, but I also feel always like the odd man out. I feel like they're using these people for their little missions or their little quests or their little like side missions, and that they don't want me to know. And I'm always like being used is what it feels like. Without my permission or consent or without, you know, my willingness. But I guess I'll update you guys after the consultation. I'm trying to feel hopeful about it, but every person who I've spoken with about what's going on is equally disgusted and grossed out by the way I've been treated and by the blatant ways that they've just violated my rights as a human being, as a United States citizen, just in general. But then they never have any like recommendation of what to do from here. You know, they never have any solutions that they present or like any advice. So
Ed does, he just don't like it.
I'm going to finish my makeup and check on my kids and then get started on my work. I don't consent to being followed. I'm alone with Xavier. I don't have a team here that I would authorize to be around me physically. I have reached out for sponsors and support online. If someone knows me from online and wants to support me in person, that would be a conversation. That wouldn't just be that they'd be following me around with their car or, you know, harassing me. I don't consent. I'd like to press charges against everyone involved if that's the only way to make it stop. Anyone slandering me, Instagram, Google, YouTube, they to invest into figuring out, you know, how to make this stop. There's definitely liability, and there's a huge, tremendous amount of responsibility that these platforms definitely have by regulation of the United States government to keep these environments safe, and they have not been safe for me as an adult woman. I cannot imagine if they've been safe for a child, because I can barely dodge all of these bullets that they're shooting at me for long enough to turn back and say, is everyone behind me okay? But you guys have a nice day, and don't give up on this. This case needs to be followed through on. It needs to be heard. Our country is fucking crumbling. All of our youth is sucking dick and fucking for money.
Oh my goodness.
No one is interested in a career path anymore if they ever were. It truly makes me feel like either I've been incredibly sheltered my entire life or the entire society has been sexualized. These women will do the most for the least, and it's fucking sick. And the women who don't want anything to do with it are then being forced or human trafficked or, you know, made homeless and then raped. It's disgusting. And I will maintain until the day I die that the way that I have been treated over these last 5 years is unlawful, unethical, immoral, and definitely deserving of some sort of justice. So.
I am just seeing what would be a good one here. There's a couple. Show you guys the library one.
I'm at the library. You guys have, if you're my friend on Facebook, you've seen I went live literally during a home invasion when someone was trying to break into my house. It's all here on Facebook. I do it on Instagram all the time. The rapes, the beating.
There's Xavier in the back. I don't know how much we can hear of this, but basically she was trying to email Nick Albuquerque, and I think this is the same one where she was like I hear people in the walls telling me to do duster.
The stabbings, the bludgeoning, all of it has, most of it has live content. The fake cops chasing me down the street.
Gog magog.
I've recorded all of it. Now I'm just taking an extra step here to record this. So I'm at Chicago Public Library, so that they can't try to say it was a matter of my device is not working. Again, this is a 4-year process of being ignored, resulting in being sexually assaulted, robbed for thousands, if not more. And that doesn't include my time. I've literally been being chased all over the city, chased out of 21 jobs, all W-2 jobs. And I've been letting these judges know using this exact email. This is the exact list that was provided to me in 20.
See, we don't get to see this much. I don't see a lot of people going on crazy rants in a whisper style like this because it's the library.
2020. So now just on this live, I want to go live doing it because so that there can be no discrepancies as to whether or not I did it and it went through. I've been doing it for 4 years, but just to, do my due diligence.
So she's emailing judges. And breathing really heavily. Alright, well, I don't know how much of this is gonna be fruitful. Let me, we'll do this one.
So, for the second time in 4 years, mind you, I have no criminal record and no fucking clue what's going on.
This is about Nick Albuquerque. I don't know, just gotta grab another one.
My attorney, Nick Albuquerque, or someone posing as Nick Albuquerque on the phone, I called his number from Google, the number I've had in my phone for years, told me to, quote, board a plane and get out of here for my sanity and the overall well-being of myself and my family. Who the fuck has a budget to just go jump on a plane and dip out? What the fuck, dude? That's not supposed to scare me? What the fuck is going on? And the police do nothing, and no one tells me shit, but I have no money to dip. So if anyone wants smoke, the DM is open. Please let me know what the fuck I did, because I have no smoke with anyone. I don't know what the fuck you people want from me. More business, because again, we have multiple lawsuits right now for slander and libel against numerous different people, agencies, and actors and actresses, as I like to call them. So people who are impersonating law enforcement and putting hands on me, things of that nature, kicking my door down and letting other people have access to an apartment in my name, things of that nature. Numerous lawsuits, pardon me. And we're just going to continue to sue everyone who continues to fuck around. It's like they want us to just curl in a ball and just be like dirty, unmotivated, sad people.
Exhausted. I'm exhausted. I don't know. It's like they have me literally captive to them, walking up and down either Milwaukee or some other diagonal running street back and forth from downtown to out here, and I don't even get to see my children. I had the last 3 visits out here. I haven't. Before that, every single time I've come out, I have. So it just keeps getting worse, you guys. This is not getting any better. I need money. I need help. I need to get off the fucking street. I'm not on drugs. I don't have mental health issues. I want to sue everyone involved.
So under the caption for the live, all the lawyers are missing again. If I have any lawyers in the audience, please reach out. My own personal lawyer, Nick Albuquerque, along with numerous associates and colleagues of his, have been missing and incredibly inconsistent. Also concerned about Xavier's brother, who works for the district attorney and hasn't followed up with us directly in any way. Looking for the status on the world. On the world? While I continue to face much adversity in my own life.
You don't need to do that. Do you guys see what I'm saying already? You don't have to do this to get into your email account. I've been using email for 20 fucking years. In order for me to verify this email, they're saying I have to go to my primary and verify the email that they send. If I do so, I have to end the live, and then that's when they start fucking with my computer. It's the same thing for 4 years. Literally, I want to sue everyone involved. I have so many civil suits that are open and shut cases. Where is my lawyer? Where is Nick Albuquerque? Has anyone seen Nick in person in real?
See, so that's the clip that I wanted when I had the other video up. Where is Nick Albuquerque? Where is he? So this is from Nick Albuquerque. Regarding Heather, I am not Heather's lawyer. I was her lawyer many, many years ago. We served our professional relationship. Nick Albuquerque, attorney at law. So, yeah, he's not her lawyer anymore, but she's still, every now and then, tries to reach out to Nick Albuquerque.
I go with Lala.
I got these guys queued up, and then after that, I'm a dippity dop out of here. But this will go for another, I don't know, like at least half hour. Look at it. She looks different here. I don't remember there being a green tent. I don't think I've seen this one, actually.
And then you're coming to pick me up?
He looks crazy here to me. I don't know why. Her lips look huge.
And I said, yes, baby, go get your shoes.
She must have a filter on.
And give them to Bibi to put them on. Like, I'll do it. Alexis, just go get your shoes. And Alexis is like, okay, baby. Like, in her, like, 4-year-old voice. And all the kids were there. Viviana was irritated with the situation, but, like, just an eye roll. Louis was, like, also, like, whatever, I'll just do it. Alexis was just so, like, what's going on, you know? I'm gonna go to Lila's, and then you're gonna pick me up after work. And that was just basically, like, a dialogue that took place maybe a couple times a week, replaced work with whatever was going on. The only time I left my children was when they went to see their fathers. It was just a very disturbing way to wake up this morning on only 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I'm exhausted. I miss my kids. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, as I've said numerous times. But I just want to go home. And that's it. So that's the update for the day. Someone took a shit in Xavier's chanclas.
Okay, I must have seen this at some point, because yeah, I remember somebody shitting in Xavier's chanclas, and the running theory is that it was Heather, because who else would have shit in Xavier's chanclas? And Heather has a certain resentment for Xavier, so I could see her actually shitting in his chanclas.
I'm drinking Metamucil to poop. And
Oh, but it couldn't have been Heather. She's constipated.
I did poop yesterday, but it's like I need to poop daily, you know, and it was like 4 days of not pooping. So anyone who knows anything about the human body knows that it is in our best interest to have regular bowel movements. Especially, and I know this sounds funny, but especially if you're not a person who has, you need to help yourself out a little. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying you're carrying around a lot of extra weight. Think about the physical action of what happens when you're having sex. As a woman, you are being penetrated.
What the fuck is this?
In the area where your bowel is. So even though it's not that hole, there's a ruckus, a commotion is going on down there. So
Oh my goodness.
anything that would be too
I don't remember this at all, bro.
solid to pass naturally
when you're having healthy sex is going to pass on its own after having sex, especially if you have sex regularly. If you're in
The fuck is this? I am constipated. Have you tried having sex?
a committed relationship, which I'm monogamous or abstinent most of the time since my last relationship. Xavier and I don't have sex with anyone else. But you can definitely tell when a woman has not had sex for a long time. She's so full of shit.
This is the wildest. This is the weirdest fucking shit. Heather.
That her like abdomen is hard and then puffy. So you have the bloating on top of like the hardness.
I wonder what Xavier thinks of all this.
It's a terrible problem to have. It's not funny. It's not comfortable. Regular bowel movements are 100% necessary for life. Please.
This was the same day that apparently remember someone shit in Xavier Shankles? This is that day. So that's why I was like, I must have seen this video because she's referencing the shit. But I don't remember this at all.
I need other things more than, or in equal amounts as regular bowel movements. As equally as important as it is to have.
We'll have to ask Xavier Shankles, like the channel Xavier Shankles, they must remember this, right? Their channel's based off of it.
Regular access to an indoor toilet for bowel movements. It would be equally as important to not have urgency in my bowel when you finally decide to let me poop. So if you know I'm sleeping in a tent with no access or limited access to indoor plumbing overnight, especially.
Is this gonna segue into cheese pizza?
Causing urgency in a bowel movement would force a desperate situation, probably a messy situation. I'm not alone here, right? So let's try to be respectful in what the fuck you losers are doing to people. I mean,
what are you talking about? Okay, first off, time about being respectful. Oh, who are you blaming for being constipated? The people in chat? You're just threatening the world made you constipated? Who made you constipated? You ate food that made you constipated, yeah? Like that'd be your own fault?
have a little respect. My God. You want to talk about degrading and dehumanizing?
Or opiates, maybe? Opiates make you constipated.
Those are two very good examples of ways that you probably don't even realize you're degrading and dehumanizing everyone around you by making them sleep outdoors. It is not acceptable. So I don't know what the fuck we need to do about this, but we have to do something. This is so fucked up.
I don't know what we're gonna do about this.
So shout out to the lady with the pancake. Thank you so much. It was delicious. For real, thank you. If you want to bring one more, no, but for real though. If you guys are going broke like I was, I know you are, you have to get a thing of protein and just try making pancake stretch as long as possible and adding a half a scoop of fiber and a full scoop of protein and replacing one of your days of meals or one of your meals of the day with that. That helped me spread my meals a really long time when I was in the end stages before I completely started running out of money. And my communication with my sponsors was all cut off. So it's like
Yeah, because the sponsors make sure they're eating pretty good. They're always showing, like in the Instagram stories. She used to post a lot to Instagram stories and then delete every 24 hours, I think. So I would wake up when I still had a real job. I'd wake up and before work I would film like a screen record her stories, and then I'd batch them, and then every Friday we'd have Feral Friday. And in her stories, like, she'd be eating good. Like, she would have like fancy bowls and like sushi and stuff. And I'm trying to think of the other things that she ate. Stuff that I don't even know the names of, to be honest. They would like fuck, I'm trying to remember the names of it. Anyways, I don't know when she was only eating fucking protein powder pancakes. I don't remember this.
What I've come to terms and conclusions with is that a bunch of influencers who do have sponsorship, the money gets sent as normal, but those influencers have been targeted.
Eggs McCuffin, do you remember this stream? Because me and Tinks don't at all, apparently.
And essentially kidnapped. Technologically, they are not able to reach their friends and family members or people who could help them.
Oh, the falafel's a really good one too. I gotta show them the falafel.
Law enforcement is typically boxed out, and it's typically better for law enforcement to take a more passive approach at resolving these issues, in the sense that...
You remember this one? Really?
They'll hear everything that's going on if they're quiet enough to listen for just a few days. They'll easily be able to find out where the money is going, where it's supposed to be going. Some cases that have not been discovered for longer, like this has been going on for years for some influencers, and they still haven't been discovered. Their parents think they're okay. They think they're...
This is from 2023. That's why I'm surprised. Interesting.
Traveling. They still make their travel videos, but they're being oppressed in a lot of circumstances like this, intense or even worse. And the money that's being sent to them as sponsorship opportunities, much like my own situation, is being intercepted.
It was from end of September 27th, 2023.
Accepted by nefarious third parties. For me, I've never been sponsored for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? My sponsors have been smaller, thousands of dollars, donations, clothes, things of that nature. But what...
You know why I don't remember this? This makes a lot of sense now. I think the first time I ever covered Heather, it was like a Friday the 13th of October of 2023. So it was probably just like the new news cycle or whatever. This is right before I started covering her, I think.
What happens is when these nefarious people around in the area find out that you're being sponsored in...
Yeah, I think she's pregnant here.
Anyway, even if it's just for a meal, they go after the person donating. And then they start telling that person, look, you're going to give me that money. Or they do it really low key and just intercept. If it's like a bank transfer or...
Yeah, she'd have to be pregnant here.
Maybe like a donation. In my experience, Cash App has been the only app that I've not gotten fucked over with. No one has ever stolen $1 out of my Cash App, ever. I can't say the same about my bank account, and I definitely can't say the same about my bank account. I bank with PNC. I'll keep the money in one account and then cash it out to PNC literally right before I'm about to use the debit card. That's how bad it's gotten. But keep this in mind, you guys, if you're donating or you want to donate, or you're wondering, or you sent a donation, but you're like, I sent them something. They shouldn't be asking for help, or they shouldn't be sleeping in a tent. I sponsored that. Something is going on, something deeper, and law enforcement has to stay out but in. You know what I mean? So, all right, you guys, have a good day, please. I want to go see my children, please, and I'm hungry to not have to beg for food. If that could be, arranged, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Love you.
Look at live sponsors. We got drugs to do.
Heather Gillespie, Coco Sean, YSL, GoPro Solo, and Xavier. Do you want to say hi?
Shout out to who?
Shout out to Al Fanning.
Al Fanning? Why? What? He always has the weirdest shout outs.
So I've basically been calling all over to try to gain some understanding and direction, get listings of all of the incidents and police reports that I can possibly gather. I need to request FOIA reports, which I've done on my laptop and been prevented from doing numerous times. So at this point, I feel like just obtaining all of the police report and record numbers and going into my lawyer's office with them and having him attempt to get them, or maybe even a representative or advocate at the federal Dirksen building, maybe the only...
The one on her hand? The one on her hand says Mrs. Smith, because Dylan's last name is Smith. And then this like, I don't know what language that is, but apparently that's Mrs. Smith or Dylan Smith or something too. She has like 5 tattoos of Dylan on her.
Only next best option. As I'm going through all of these things, I'm looking at each and every town and jurisdiction where I went for assistance or was sexually assaulted or was bludgeoned or was corruptly targeted. And all of them are close to my family members. I filed reports for the sexual assaults as well as the stalking in the town where my mom lives. has my mother been being targeted? Is that why she hasn't been calling me since last year? In where my children live, I was chased by multiple on camera, unmarked cars from Westchester. That's within 3 miles of the town where my children live, the big kids. Are they being targeted now?
Heather's drug of choice would be Adderall, Duster. She used to smoke weed, but I guess not anymore. Weed shows up in drug tests, and she got in trouble for smoking weed while she was pregnant. I think that's it. I don't think she's big into like fentanyl or anything. That's just Xavier.
Because of that. My ex-husband, the kid's father, is he being targeted because of that? Chicago jurisdictions, the same thing. Anytime.
Like air duster, like that stuff you would clean a keyboard with. It's like compressed air. I don't know. It gets people high, I guess. I would never think to do air duster. That's not a cool thing to do. You know what I mean? What would it be akin to? It'd be like, I don't know, remember Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas where he's like smoking a light bulb? I feel like it'd be like that. Like, just get a real drug. Go get real drugs. Don't be smoking fucking light bulbs or huffing air duster.
Time that I have brought them a case where I've been victimized and they have refused to even so much as start an investigation. Are they then out of animosity or irritation or annoyance or because the state's coming down on them or whatever, now targeting my Orlando, Alexis's dad, my youngest child? I have 3 kids. The first 2 have one father. The baby has another father.
Well, I was kind of worried or half expecting that the whole time. It's like Xavier does fentanyl, and we've caught them on stream before, like him being like, "Do you want some fent?" And she's like, "You know, I don't do that," kind of thing. And if he's like preparing her weed and stuff too, like things are gonna get cross contaminated. I don't know where Xavier's buying his fent from, or if he's buying it from the same guy that sells weed. Like, it's just, I think that was gonna be inevitable. It's fucking goofballs, man.
Place that I go, I get attacked, and then I go to police for help and they don't help me, but instead arrest me or chase me down the street or enter some sort of fictitious charges, and then I pursue charges against them. Are they going after my family members? Is that why Orlando is not allowing my youngest daughter to call me anymore? You know, what is going on? So as someone,
I don't think any kid should be subjected to this.
someone who is not a
It'd be very confusing for a kid. Why is mom saying all this crazy stuff? I'm very worried for her. I was like, yeah, I don't want you talking to our kid.
dummy who's pretty smart and who is a loving mother who misses her children desperately and wants to be at home, where do I go from here? I'm now being denied medical assistance. Do I have to leave the state where I live with no budget? I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm 20 weeks pregnant and I'm being blatantly denied a doctor. I've literally been going into Northwestern Hospital every other week, almost, to have checkups through the ER. Like, you can't, if I have
Oh, was this when she was doxing her doctors?
insurance through the state, you would think that it would be in their best interest to allow me to see a regular doctor, right? Not go to the ER for all my care. But they won't help me in any way. They won't assist me in any way. I don't know what to do. So I'm sitting here going over everything case by case by case, the dates, the report numbers.
If like Brooke and Heather somehow merged together, that'd be a scary person. Like, Heather is a powerhouse. She's insane, but she is always doing something, and she's very organized, even though like it's all just nonsense that she's organizing. But I feel like if Brooke had that kind of drive or commitment to things, like a lot more people would be dead. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing that Heather isn't as stabby, and it's also a good thing that Brooke isn't as competent or motivated. Maybe not competent. Competent probably isn't the right word, but Heather's very committed and confident, and nothing will ever stop her. She's just blowing through shit.
It always starts with me going to them for help, and then I'm arrested. I never have any knowledge of me having any warrants issued, and then it's like they don't even want to press charges. They want to bleed dry any resources or sponsors that I have.
Like your diagnosis. I love you have a paranoid personality disorder. Heather's literally like, fuck that. Yeah? How about no, fuck you?
Which is why my sponsors have had to stay incognito and pretend like they're not even in existence. As soon as I get in a home or begin working, are they going to come try to bleed me dry again? I mean, this is the unlawful targeting that I've discussed and that I've written narratives about so many families in this country experiencing. Why am I still outside in a tent? It's been 4 years. I have no criminal record. The officer that I just spoke with in Lombard said that I pled guilty to failing to yield to a stop sign. Now that's my criminal record. Okay. So what does that mean? Because I failed to yield on my stop sign, I don't deserve victim services for being bludgeoned or raped or stabbed?
No, there's also other things that she was charged with, but that has nothing to do with the other.
I'm just so confused. Try to stay calm for the baby. It's just a very confusing time, and I know for a fact that they have taken women like me in similar circumstances as me and impregnated them. So they literally, Xavier was sent to me. I didn't know Xavier. I was literally brought by a man, Juan, who I was working for, doing roofing repair. So it's like insurance claims and things like that. I was translating all of his documentation and rhetoric from English to Spanish and Spanish to English. He and his...
Heather is like terrible at Spanish though. She's like Peggy Hill level of bad. She knows a couple words and phrases because her baby daddies, I believe, are Spanish, but she's not fluent enough to be translating shit. What is she talking about? I don't remember this either.
His son brought me downtown where I waited approximately 2 hours and Xavier approached me and said his brother worked for the district attorney. He was familiar with my case and he could help me, that he had a safe place for me to stay. We stayed there under a week or maybe 2, and we've been outside ever since.
Remember, great quotes from Heather. Me tango, no socks.
And we're not being treated very nicely. So what's really going on here? You know, and it's not going to stop by me leaving the state of Illinois. I left the state of Illinois on a vacation, not even like I need to leave the state of Illinois. Even though my lawyer had told me in 2019, you need to flee the state of Illinois, I laughed at him. I was like, Nick, I'm not fleeing anyone. I have no money. My home is here. My kids are here. I'm not running away. And he told me the same thing like 3 weeks ago. They're targeting you again. You need to flee the state of Illinois. And he said, Heather, for your mental health.
I thought Nick Albuquerque wasn't her lawyer anymore. So I don't know why he's talking to her.
You need to leave the state of Illinois. I said, Nick.
I don't know who she's talking to. I don't think it's Nick.
I don't even have $1 right now. Not even $1. I'm sleeping in a tent and all my stuff is in a cart. How do you want me to flee the state? Where do you want me to go? What do you expect me to do? And after I was bludgeoned in 2021, bludgeoned with a tire iron by a man, I just called for follow-up on that case. They don't know if they're...
I did once. We should... I want to cover that again, actually, because to me, that's wild because I've only known Heather to stay in Chicago. Like, she's pretty stuck there. I've never seen her go anywhere other than that time that she tried to go to California. And then I think it was, I don't know, about halfway on the way there, she realized she was pregnant, and then she turned back. So we never made it to California. But so foreign to me. That's so fucking foreign to see her like not in Chicago.
They know the person was arrested. They don't know if the state picked up the charges. How can the state of Illinois see my name as the victim in over 30 violent cases, including rape, and tell each and every area detective there's not enough physical evidence to charge? There's not clearly something going on here. I've made it my entire existence without ever even so much as being in a fist fight. Now I'm being raped regularly, stabbed, beaten, bludgeoned, separated from my family and children. And if this is the targeting that I as an adult am experiencing, what are they doing to my children and my family who cannot verbalize or articulate or even understand what's going on? And how do I make it stop? It's like, I wish for once there would just be one person in the comments who like was genuine, you know, who was like, damn, that's fucked up. This is what you should do. There
are people, the sponsors say that.
There's never any advice, just a whole lot of condemnation and hate. And I cannot take it anymore.
Probably not. I don't think they know to use a VPN or not. Probably not.
As I always say, if you guys are here to hate me, just go away. This is my safe place, not yours. Mine. Your page is your safe place, and I promise you one thing, I will never be in your comments telling you that you're a piece of shit.
Oh no, that I agree. I don't think any pregnant woman should be homeless or on the street. And there were resources offered to her many times, and she would spin the narrative. So she was just in the tent. Oh my God. I remember a bunch of people donated money. I think it was around Christmas for her to get a fucking hotel so she didn't have to be on the street. And then Xavier spent it on fentanyl. So like, they really wanted to be in that fucking tent. It was very frustrating, actually. I'm surprised that, well, maybe I'm not surprised. I guess everyone was hoping the best for the kid, right? Like, but normally, being pregnant in Chicago in the winter in a fucking tent, it puts a pretty high risk for like a fatality, right? So like, I don't know, man. It's a miracle. It was a miracle.
Literally, there's nothing that I can do to stop this person from being abusive to me. And I don't
So she's talking about Xavier here.
know what the fuck is going on with just this cheek. Anyone care to explain?
This is the type of shit he does. Like, the car is there, it's not touching, but he does shit to create the illusion that we are doing something wrong or there could be a chance. I don't need the drama at all.
Xavier put the cart too close to somebody's car.
As I said a million times, I take this walk at least once a month to go bring my children snacks and check on them, try to get a hug. Sometimes we hang out at the park. And this is new since not having a vehicle. And I had a vehicle, my own vehicle that I paid for myself, a Cadillac CTS, that I got paid off and had for 30 days following the last payment. Then someone mechanically destroyed it. I don't have these blemishes on my face. They're editing again.
The filter's editing blemishes on Heather's face.
And after they destroyed my Cadillac, Eric Shull gave me a Honda Civic 2-door that was stolen out of the parking lot of my apartment at Montclair at 3 or 4 in the morning. Someone texted me from a number they claimed to be Eric's. I don't think it was Eric's. It's not the number I had saved for Eric. It was a new number, a Google Voice number, and they said that they were taking the car for tires and would bring it back in a few hours, and I never heard from Eric again or got the car back. So ever since then, I've been walking with this cart or all my bags in my arms, back and forth. I didn't have a tent when all this started because I was sleeping in Airbnb, not outside.
And then you got banned from Airbnb for being crazy.
And, you know, it's just enough is enough. Like, stop with the fucking game playing. I don't want to play. None of this is relevant to real life. Walking so close to people's vehicles that you make them think you're scratching them or fucking them up and doing other instigating, antagonistic shit is not my style. It's not my jam. I don't want it around me. I've now asked no less than 100 times for this person to create space, and they refuse. The person who is Xavier, who loves me.
I don't know why we didn't just say Xavier this whole time. This person. Oh, by the way, it's Xavier. In case you didn't clue in, but she has such a fucking way of talking, man.
And loves the baby and wants a good future and dresses in clean clothing and has manners. He's more than welcome to stay. But this other version that sneaks off and leaves me asleep on the corner of Wabash to go do fentanyl, or that, you know, screams out loud, "You're gonna get paid back for this," when I'm just standing there doing nothing, or that
See, Xavier's no prize himself, but like, what the fuck, man?
it tells me, "Stop showing your ass to men," when I'm literally just standing like this doing nothing.
in public, making me so embarrassed and humiliated when I've already gotten past all of my content sales and the things that I've done to disrespect myself in the past.
Who would have thought that the homeless guy that was in Lincoln Park who told you that God sent him to be with you wouldn't be the most perfect guy to have a kid with? You'd think like after the first kids, like, because she was pregnant with twins, and they, yeah, I don't know how you want to look at it. They were prematurely delivered. So they did not survive. You'd think she'd be like, whoa, I dodged a bullet. Maybe I should look into birth control or not, try not to get pregnant. But she got pregnant again. So, like, this is, I don't know. This is your life right now. Like, Xavier's a crazy homeless person that you decided to have a kid with.
I don't need 4 years later to be followed around by my husband and talk shit to. There's a little feature on social media that says comments disabled, so that anyone who wishes you anything other than well can fuck off. My DM stays open for people who do care, and the comments are disabled. It's as simple as that. Stop making it more fucking complicated than it needs to be. Act right or get the fuck away from me, period.
We had our
This is the tent, I know. All right, I think yeah, this is the last one I got for us.
second night at this location without access to electricity. So it's very cold for me. I know some of you are like deep sea plungers into like a barrel of ice and cold water for stamina. I am not. I am borderline anemic, 22 weeks pregnant, and possibly have some residual circulatory issues from years and years of taking different various medications that have some sort of nervous system indication with long-term use. And this is all my own individual research. I have a bachelor's degree in healthcare administration, and I was a certified medical assistant and phlebotomist from the Illinois School of Health Careers.
So this is still 2023. This is the month after October of 2023. Before she had the baby. Yeah, I remember the yacht club. Is that the yacht club? How long were they at the yacht club for? Do you remember?
But because I couldn't finish paying off my tuition, they would not release my transcripts. I also do a ton of, fact checking and career building enrichment programs that are offered for free.
Do you remember, like, after they had the baby, when they would come back to the tent, like breast milk and stuff? I have like a vague memory. I'm probably not remembering this right, but for some reason I thought that Xavier and Heather were like separated in the sense where like Heather was staying somewhere and trying to get like custody of her kid, and Xavier was like off doing fentanyl somewhere. But then like they were live streaming in the tent. Like I was like, why are they even back here? What the fuck is happening? We have to go back to that time, like the baby being born times, to see what the fuck happened there.
As well as took several different courses.
Yeah, well, this is October, right? This has been right before winter.
Through DuPage County, at Lombard, I believe it was called First Institute School of Medical Administration. And then I transferred from Community College, Triton College, and River Grove College. In River Grove and College of DuPage, I transferred credits from both of those institutions to AIU, which is a mostly online, but they do have in-person locations across the world, intercontinentally. So it's American Intercontinental University, and there are several locations. That's my background. So when I talk about my medical conditions and what's going on with me, let me clean the camera. I'm not trying to pretend to be your doctor, nor am I telling you how to handle your health shit. And I've said this in other videos, but I was hearing it all over the place and decided to just throw it in again. I'm cold, So we have the agenda. I have the agenda written up mostly. I don't really know the details. I know that it is.
I thought what do you mean you don't know the detail? The agenda is like what we're doing. So how could you write an agenda without knowing the details of something?
Is beginning and ending with human kind of ethics.
because I feel like all policy holders should have the same minimum when it comes to human rights and ethical treatment of humans. I feel like before I can ever even...
I just picture there's like a piece of paper that says agenda on top and then ethics question mark, and that's the agenda.
And get into conversation or negotiation with a politician or alderman or share my situation with them, I need to first verify that our moral and ethical compasses are facing the same direction. So as you guys know, we went to the library multiple days last week, and there was some reason why we could not print out this agenda. I'm going to do it privately and email it to an actual printer and just have him print out a few copies and then take that copy and make copies elsewhere as I need them.
Okay. Try Kinko's, I guess.
None of what I'm saying or discussing is new. I have not been assaulted again since about a month ago. The kick outside of the Gwen September 15th to my eye while pregnant, or face or body. I think it was just this region. I don't know if I black out or just go into shock when I'm attacked, but I think I know exactly what happened. I know for sure there was an assault to this area. I don't know if anything happened after that. There was a lot of ruckus. They ripped the wall off of my tent, kicked me in my face, and you know, kind of dragged me another 5 to 10 feet on my back inside the tent. Well,
again, like, if we go back to September 15th, I don't think that happened. That would have been crazy. And there's never any evidence of this stuff. Like, all this stuff sounds really brutal, right? But remember the time I showed you guys this? I think it was, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. The last throwback stream of Heather Gillespie we did. She was saying that like 3 days prior that she was beaten to the point of neuropathy, and she would obviously have like at least a scratch or a bruise or something, right? But she did nothing. So I don't know if she actually believes this. I don't think she does. But if she does some crazy mental gymnastics to be like, I don't really... Is it just her face just hurt? And she's like, you know what? I must have been assaulted.
While I was sleeping at 3:30 in the morning. Again, I'm 22 weeks pregnant. I need somewhere safe to live. 311 is not an option. We've called them way too many times to count. I've gone live almost every day for the last several months.
And then when Xavier is actually assaulted, don't fucking say boo about that.
On one platform or another, requesting assistance, direction, guidance. We've been to the hospitals, every hospital in Chicago. None of them have offered us any solutions. Rush Hospital, even Del Nor Hospital, all the way in Geneva, Northwestern Hospital. Just, you know, we're not getting anywhere. And as I said before, they're doing a lot of passing the buck. When I call the law enforcement officers who were on the scene for the victimizations, they say that the state didn't choose to pick up the case. I don't understand how that's possible. And they're trying to claim that for me to receive victim services, understand that the actions of these people and institutions have resulted in me having nowhere to live for the last 4 years, in me being separated from my 3 minor children who I have primary joint custody of. I don't
think that exists. Primary joint custody? But she doesn't have any custody of her kids.
Custody with their fathers. We have been separated since 2020 from regular visitation. I see them every month, or as frequently as I can, but Alexis I haven't seen in 20 weeks, my youngest daughter. She's 10. You don't think she needs her mother? How would you justify that this is not a predatory situation? How would you be able to possibly make any sort of sense of the fact that there could not possibly be a working criminal justice system? If there were, how is this legal, ethical, possible?
Because they don't want kids being raised by parents who don't have their best interests in mind.
How? It's not. A situation only...
And the bar is really low. Like, I know a lot of shit fucking parents that have custody of their kids still because they do just enough to not have the kids taken. So like, it says a lot when you have 4 kids, all 4 of your kids you've lost custody of at different points in time. So it's not even like you lost them all at once. It was like you've had multiple chances and you fucked them up. Kind of like Brooke.
You know, transpires like this to this degree and capacity in situations of government crumbling and shutdown. What is happening? Do you guys have jurisdictions in your areas where you live that are still seeing court cases like regular?
Yeah, she has 4 kids.
Have you filed petitions in them and been given a court date? Very loud. It's a truck. I apologize. Xavier's father came and dropped off very quickly some cash to him yesterday, and usually when Xavier gets a payment from his father, he gives me, you know, 3/4 of it. If it's $100,
3/4? That's a pretty good deal, huh?
he'll give me 80. If it's $200, he'll give me 180. And this is because the entire duration of my time with Gatir and all the other jobs I worked, I supported Xavier and I got us Airbnbs with my checks. I paid
Yeah, Xavier doesn't do anything.
for our meals, and Xavier contributed with whatever he got, and whatever he could. He's been giving me less than half lately. And then I receive criticism and condemnation when I share the money with him.
Share his own money with them? What the fuck is this?
Xavier will starve himself because there is someone or thing that he has his money for. And he's not honest or forward with me about that. I don't know what it is.
It's fentanyl.
He never leaves me. We're together every day. Even if I ask him nicely or scream to hell to go away, he will not. There is something going on. And
Except when he leaves for 4 hours and doesn't come back with the yogurt, and you're like calling him 70 times.
I don't know what it is. Besides,
And he's in a washroom somewhere, taking pics of his dick and posting it to Twitter, and then DMing people on Tumblr the Twitter link, because that's a totally normal thing to do. And that's not me riffing, that actually happened.
it's my own situation. I want to be with my children. I was not raised to eat food and not at least offer some of it to someone sitting with me. The fact that he has money in his pocket and refuses to buy himself food, but if I don't offer half of what I have, everyone around me begins punishing me, whether that's through online harassment, telephone calls, assault. There are so many clear indicators that what's going on is immoral, unethical, malicious, and nefarious. There are so many indicators that so many of us are being used quite literally like video game characters to be harmed and curated with. And it's sickening. And I don't understand the purpose. A video game is not the same as using a human being to cause trauma to another human being.
I don't think anyone's making that argument.
What don't you understand about that? So when you guys hear my blog posts and my live updates starting to
I think she just doesn't want to tell the audience that the money is going to fentanyl, because then people stop donating.
sound like this, like I'm counseling children, understand that my opinion and my feelings on the matter are that the people around me are fucking complete belligerent morons. That I think they should all be loaded into a semi-truck trailer, all of the rapists, all of the creepers.
She's gonna say, light it on fire.
All of the opportunists who harm women and children. All of the undercover sexually deviant people who can be incentivized by the promise of a BJ or a handy. These are the terms that they're using now.
I've never heard anyone call it that. I never heard of a handy before.
I know. And I think it's disgusting. If you've raised a
Rainy, I hope you have fun on your cruise.
child that is not being forced to engage in behavior like this and is engaging in such behavior, you owe the entire community an apology.
Oh, man.
And you owe the entire community an explanation. And you also owe the entire community a suggestion and a suggestive plan for how to undo the tremendous amounts of trauma and detriment and abuse that have been done.
That's what's going on in the 18-wheeler? I thought we were lighting it on fire. So everyone gets in the 18-wheeler and like it's just Heather Gillespie and she's like, all right, pick up your pens and paper. They're on the desk there and you have 3 things you gotta make amends with and you're not leaving this fucking 18-wheeler until it's done. Is that what's happening?
I don't blame you. I've met people with children who seemed normal that were fucked up. Fucked up. But you most certainly need to be a part of the solution. I am gonna use the $40 Xavier gave me yesterday on some fucking pancakes.
Okay.
I'm 22 weeks pregnant. It's cold outside. I don't give a fuck if you people like it or not.
I think $40 is a lot for pancakes, but okay.
If you want to be part of the solution, please do. Please tell me how to contact you or any agency or group or funding because I need an apartment. I need an apartment that is safe to raise my family, my 3 children who are already in existence. My daughter needs her mother to be prepping her for college next year. She's 17 years old. She was 14 years old when we went into this, living with me 5 days out of the week, getting all B's and A's in her classes. Her grades have not been that way since then.
Well, that's your fault. That's your fault for being with Dylan. And Dylan wasn't like, I don't know, in town. He wasn't in prison in town. They had to drive hours to go and see him. And she would bring the kids to go see Dylan. And Dylan would talk to them on the phone. And it's just like, I don't know, real irresponsible shit, if you're asking me.
Her attendance has not been that way since then. Who pays for that? Because there's most definitely a dollar amount associated with that.
I'll tell you what, if I had a kid, right, and I was divorced or whatever, estranged from my baby mama, and she was dating some prisoner, I would do everything in my power to get full custody of those kids. Because fuck that shit. Sorry, I don't know, you don't get to see your mom anymore because fuck, she's insane. And she's turning into Heather Gillespie.
When you tie and bound and gag a mother whose responsibility is to be with her children, and you keep this woman in a space where she cannot possibly raise her children, who pays for the detriment that follows? I've been paying my taxes since I had my first job at the age of 14 years old.
I would have rather her have just been a good mom and not pay her taxes, because fuck taxes. But like, what's your excuse for not being a good mom?
My parents have always paid their taxes. They're property owners, owners of vehicles, owners of houses, and they've been poor and lived outside and had nowhere to go. They've been bullied by law enforcement, and law enforcement has assisted them. We've been ignored by the FBI. And as far as I know, the FBI is taken over. We don't have the FBI anymore.
What?
As far as I know. Because
When
if
did
the
that
FBI was in existence, the things that have happened to me that I can solve, logistically I can solve them. Practically, I don't have the resources, the funding, or the connections to get them solved. But you would think that someone in the FBI with access to every piece of intellectual property in existence, Rolodex, phone numbers.
Fucking the Rolodex. Yeah, the FBI's Rolodex is pretty comprehensive.
Etc. and so forth. You would think that a
It's the size of a whole room, man.
person in a position like that would most certainly have the ability and the desire to solve the problems that have been unfolding around me.
The taxes thing, I think she feels like the government or the law enforcement agencies, FBI, the police, they're not doing their jobs, and they should, because she pays their salary. Like, she pays her taxes, therefore, if they're paid by people's taxes, they should be working for her. But I don't think she actually pays her taxes. So, like, it's kind of ironic. I don't know. She hasn't had a job in, like, fucking forever.
Resulting in repeated assaults, robberies, and other exploitative behaviors against myself and people like myself or around myself. But they've not. You know how I know they've not? I'm still outside in a fucking tent on the side of the road. That's how I know. I'm going for pancakes.
Going for pancakes and the FBI is taking over. All right, guys, that's it for the Heather Gillespie throwback today. And we're caught up with her recent shenanigans, which is that weird live stream she did. Good times in life. I didn't make any thumbnails today. Maybe I should go back and do that. Ay. I gotta finish editing too now. Well, it's that time. It's that time, guys, where I go away in the heat of the night. Hope you guys had fun. I had fun. I miss Heather Gillespie. I'm glad she's coming back. Making a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Hopefully they don't continue the court case. The court case needs to end so she can just go back in full force. Maybe she'll get pregnant again. Hopefully fucking not. I really hope she doesn't. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Bye.